sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. And when you sacrifice something, do it stay alive? But go ahead.
The term mass is derived from the rites Latin dismissal formula.
They just put that there to confuse you, but go ahead and read.
To mass is ended. According to Catholic teaching, the mass is...
So the mass is ended, man. We didn't kill them.
Okay.
Go ahead.
According to Catholic teaching, the mass is a memorial in which the death of the resurrection of Jesus Christ are sacramentally.
So this is about the death of Jesus.
Reenacted.
Right. They reenact the death of Jesus every year. They reenact that they murdered him every year.
Oh, so that's what the...
So it ain't got nothing to do with his birthday, do it? They saying, we killed your God. And this is the day we celebrate his death on. Go ahead.
That was it, brother.
That's all that's highlighted, you sure?
Oh, no, let me drop down to here. Let's say...
Don't worry about it. Let's go to the next book.
Okay.
Let's go to the next book. We're going to go into another encyclopedia under mass. We're going to go into this New Funk and Wagnalls encyclopedia. It's the smallest one in there. A little dingy looking book. It's right here. This the New Funk and Wagnalls encyclopedia. It ain't new, but that's the title of it. We're going to page 8258. That's what it looked like, 8258. And we're going to read under mass. This is the New Funk and Wagnalls encyclopedia. We're just going to see some of the stuff that they do during the mass. Just read what's highlighted.
Okay. The principal feature of the mass is the communion.
The communion.
A holy rite in which the body and the blood of Christ, symbolized by the sacraments of bread and wine, are mystically sacrificed.
It's what?
Mystically sacrificed.
Mystically sacrificed, meaning in their mind they're killing your God again. And who the one that really want to kill Jesus? Satan. Satan the devil. Because if he get rid of Jesus, he ain't got to die.
That's right.
But it ain't going to work, though. It ain't going to work. But go ahead and read, brother.
Under the laws of the Roman Catholic Church.
The laws of the Roman Catholic Church, go ahead.
The mass.
Because this is what when you're dealing with Christmas, you're dealing with the laws of the Roman Catholic Church. Go ahead.
The mass may be offered only by ordained priests.
So now you got to be ordained in order to offer this sacrifice. It's just because what they try to do is set themselves up after the Levitical priesthood. Only at certain times, the high priest got to make the offering. He got to kill the sacrifice. So they saying only they high priest can kill the sacrifice. The thing about it is though, they ain't playing. They ain't dealing with no animals. They dealing with humans. Why you think so many kids come up missing? And I kid you not. You can research this stuff. These kids that come up missing, they ain't never found again. Some of the people that you love listening to their music, the ones killing them.
Wow.
But I ain't gonna put all that in the lesson because I ain't ready to die today, right? So, but go ahead and read, man.
Okay. The mass may be offered only by ordained priests who must observe a strict fast beginning on the midnight previous to the celebration.
Also, on Christmas Eve, right? He got to fast. He got to make sure that he's ready to do this. His mind got to be clear. Go ahead.
The mass is customarily offered in the morning, but the period may be extended with a ecclesiastical authorization to a limited time after midday.
Go ahead.
Mass said in a low tone without choral or musical accompaniment are called low masses.
So now the ones where they don't do all the singing and stuff, right? That's a low mass. But now we know during this time of year, they always singing, ain't they? They got these Yuletide carols and all that. Let's see what else to say. Go ahead.
The high mass, known as the Missa Solemnis, is celebrated with music,
It's celebrated with music,
choir, and incense. The mass offer for the dead is called a requiem, from the first word of introit.
So the thing about it is with this mass is coming up, they celebrate big time. It's a high mass. It's a high sacrifice because they killed God. They killed your God. This is what they telling you. We killed your God. And you know what? We got a replacement for him. Because on this guy's crown, it says vicarious fill or die, right?
Mm-hmm.
The replacement of Christ.
Yeah. They said the high mass celebrated with music, choirs.
Go ahead and finish it, brother.
Okay. The mass offered for the dead is called requiem, from the first word of introit, or opening section of the mass. That was it.
So we see what mass is. We done read it in two places. It's a sacrifice. So when you say you're celebrating Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is you celebrating the death of the Messiah. You're celebrating the death or the sacrifice or the murder of Jesus. It ain't got nothing to do with his birth. He ain't tell you to celebrate his birth anyway. Let's keep going though. Let's go into Jeremiah the 10th chapter.
And that old history book, boy, beat me down.
You'll be all right, man. You read better than anybody else. There's anybody else reading out loud but you. Jeremiah chapter 10, we're going to start reading at verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1, because we done read about the Lord hating idolatry and all that, right? Jeremiah 10 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
So this is not the word of Jeremiah, the prophet. This is not the word of Daniel or Isaiah. This is not the word of Jeroboam. This is the word of God. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathens.
He said, hold on, brother. He said, learn not the way of the heathen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means don't do what they do.
Right.
It's already up there. Wow. Don't do what the heathen just mean nations.
That's right.
Don't do what they do. Mm-hmm. I ain't even change it. Go ahead and read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
He said, don't be dismayed by him. Don't be taken by him. Don't be amazed by him.
For the heathens
go ahead.
Are dismayed at them.
Because they dismayed at you can't go nowhere without somebody telling you happy holidays and Merry Christmas and all that garbage. And no matter how many times you tell them you don't celebrate it, they're going to say it to you anyway. You know why? Because they don't have respect for your God. They don't even have respect for you. Go ahead and read.
For the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman.
Who
with
cut the tree out of the forest? Did it cut itself out the forest? Somebody went in that forest and cut it out. Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They did what to it?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
So they deck it with silver and gold. I guess I'm going to make some changes to it. They put this stuff on it. I remember when I was a kid, we put the silver and gold stuff on there, right? Go ahead.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
So they had to put this on it so it don't fall down, right? If it was God, it wouldn't need nothing to help it stand up, now would it? Go ahead and read.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
They can't say nothing. Go ahead.
They must need be born, because they cannot go.
So you got to carry this thing. But you're going to bow down to it later, but you got to carry it. First you got to go in the forest and cut it down. Then you got to carry it. Then you got to put some boards on the bottom of it so it don't fall over. And then you got to get it dressed. It can't dress itself. This your God. He can't get himself dressed. He can't walk by himself. He can't talk. What he gonna do for you? But get you broke. And you don't come about that debt till after Easter. Where we at, man?
In the middle of verse 5.
Go
Be
ahead,
not
read.
afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Say, don't be afraid of them, because they can't do nothing to you, good or evil. You got to take care of it. It can't take care of you. Was that it?
Yep.
Thank you. Let's go into the Psalms 115. Psalms 115. The 115th Psalm, we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Psalms 115 and verse 1. All right, go ahead.
Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory.
Mm-hmm.
For thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God?
Say, why should the heathen say, where is now their God? Because our God lives. But they want to tell you, because they're doing all this stuff to you, that your God is dead. But our God not dead. He got an appointed time to return. He a law keeper. Talking about Jesus. Go ahead and read.
But our God is in heaven. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Their idols are silver and gold,
Their idols are silver and gold. Go ahead.
the work of men's hands.
Mm-hmm.
They have mouth, but they speak not.
They can't say nothing, but they got a mouth. Go ahead.
Eyes have they, but they see not.
Because they blind. Go ahead.
They have ears, but they hear not.
Mm-hmm.
Nose have they, but they smell not.
But that's because they are a false God. They false, and you're going to sacrifice your children to it? And don't tell me you ain't sacrificing your children to this tree. Because you always say, oh, it's for the kids. We're doing it for the kids. The kids wouldn't know nothing about it if you ain't sacrificed the kids to it.
That's right.
The first time my baby son saw a Christmas tree was in my father's crib. And he saw that tree and he said, whoa, man, I'm not going in there. Nathaniel, the mean one. He just stood there. I said, man, come on in here. I just got to unplug the stuff that I got inside. It was cold outside. I wasn't finna stand out there. Anyway, what verse we at?
Verse 7.
Go ahead, brother.
They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not.
Mm-hmm.
Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them.
But they that make them are like unto them. You can't say nothing that's going to give nobody life. You can't see nothing that's going to save your life. You can't hear nothing that's going to save your life or your children's life. Because you will have no knowledge. Because you refuse the doctrine of God. Go ahead and finish.
So is everyone that trusteth in them.
So if you trust in this thing, you just like it. Somebody got to go and take care of you. Got to get you dressed. I'm talking about spiritually. That's good, though. Let's hit another one of these encyclopedias. Let's go into the Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 2, page 904. And let's read about this Christmas tree. They're easy to find. I got them marked, man. Just read the little tab at the top.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I can't see that good. You see these glasses?
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. But we're going to read it under Christmas tree. Now,
Christmas tree.
This is the Encyclopedia Britannica. The Encyclopedia Britannica I did not write. Christmas tree. Go ahead.
Christmas. Come on, man. We got to do the service of the Lord. Christmas tree. An evergreen, usually a balsam or a Douglas fir, decorated with lights and ornaments as a part of Christmas festivities.
Lights and ornaments. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
The use of evergreen trees, wreaths, and garlands as a symbol of eternal life.
So the tree live forever, like God? Tell me you ain't worshiping it as God. It's a symbol of eternal life. Go ahead.
Was an ancient custom of the
ancient
Egyptians.
custom. Go ahead.
Of the Egyptians.
Of the Egyptians. These are Hamitic people, or these are people that came out of Ham, or who we call Africans. Go ahead.
Chinese and Hebrews.
Chinese. So hold on now. Hold on. You got the Egyptians who came out of Ham, right? Right? Then you got the Chinese. They came out of Japheth, didn't they?
That's right.
And then who else? And the Hebrews, they came out of Shem.
Everybody done dealt with it.
These all the sons of Noah. And all their children have dealt with this thing. But it ain't got nothing to do with God. Go ahead.
Tree worship. Common among pagan Europeans.
Common among who?
Pagan Europeans.
Pagan Europeans. Tree worship. That's what it's about. Stop being foolish. Go ahead.
Survived after their conversion to Christianity and the Scandinavian custom of decorating the house and barns with evergreen at the new year.
So they decorate the house and the barns and everything, right? But this stuff even survived after they was converted to what they call Christianity. But what they did was convert Christianity to paganism. That's what happened. Go ahead.
That's why they did it. To scare away devils and
to scare away who?
The devil.
But it wasn't to scare away the devil. It was to scare away God, like they think God gonna be scared of this stuff. He made it. Go ahead and read.
And of setting up a tree for the birds during Christmas time. It survived further in the custom also observed in Germany of placing a Yule tree
a Yule tree
at an entrance or inside the house in the midwinter holidays.
So that's why they got these Yuletide carols, because this is a high sacrifice. They sing and they got a choir going. They going from door to door singing to the Yule tree, because they worshiping the tree, and they saying, hey, we didn't kill these people, God. We gonna sing about it. They celebrate. Go ahead.
The modern Christmas tree, though originated in Western Germany, the main prop of a popular medieval play about Adam and Eve.
The main prop of a popular medieval play about Adam and Eve, go ahead,
was a fir tree hung with apples.
Hung with apples, right?
So-called paradise tree.
Paradise tree.
Representing the Garden of Eden.
Representing that tree that was in the Garden of Eden, go ahead.
The Germans set up a paradise tree in their homes on December 24th.
A paradise tree, because Garden of Eden is called paradise, right? Who was the tree that man was dealing with in the Garden of Eden?
Satan.
Satan the devil.
Go ahead, bro.
So you can imagine what the apples are, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's his doctrine. Come on now.
And it was regarding
That's
Adam
the lies that he told Adam and Eve. False doctrine. They worshiping this. They love this. This is satanic worship right here. That's all it is. It's worshiping the devil. Go ahead.
The Germans set up a paradise tree in their homes on December 24th, the religious feast day of Adam and Eve.
It's the what?
Religious feast day of Adam and Eve.
It's the religious feast day of Adam and Eve. The religious feast day of Adam and Eve. I ain't read nowhere in the entire book that Adam and Eve had no feast day. Except for one thing. They feasted on these lies. Just like on the Sabbath day we feast on the truth, they feasted on them lies. They ate it up. So they ate it up so good, the Lord said, I got to get these people away from me. I got to get them away. He said, put them out the Garden of Eden.
That's right.
And keep the way with a flaming sword. I don't want them nowhere closer near me. They're an abomination now. That's the only feast that they had. Feasting on the doctrine of lies. Did you finish that?
Nope.
Go ahead, brother.
They hung wafers on it, symbolizing the host, the Christian signs of redemption. And the host eventually became cookies of various shapes.
The cookies that they leave out for. But go ahead.
Cookies, no. Candles, too, were often added as the symbol of Christ.
Go ahead.
In the same room during the Christmas season was Christmas pyramids.
The Christmas pyramid. Go ahead.
A triangular construction of wood.
And I had one of these. Somebody gave me one of these too. I didn't know what it was for at first. I had to look it up. But go ahead.
With shelves to hold Christmas figurines.
But I put all my Chicago Bears stuff in it. But go ahead and read.
Decorated with evergreens, candles, and a star. By the 16th century, the Christmas pyramid and paradise tree had merged, becoming the Christmas tree.
So that's why we got this thing right here. Satanic worship. That was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's your Christmas tree right there. So we know what Christmas is. We know it's a sacrificing or killing Jesus. And we know the tree represents worshiping Satan. Right. So this is what you're doing on Christmas. You're killing Jesus and worshiping Satan. I'm just going to make it plain. Let's go into Exodus, the 24th chapter. I remember when my two oldest children, when they was little, and people wanted to always get them Christmas presents. I said, no, they can't have it. But I done already bought it, and I done pay, it costs us, I don't care what it costs. They can't have it. They give me some, I don't want it. But what you want me to do with it? I don't care what you do with it. You didn't buy it for me because I already told you I don't deal with that. They want to always throw money in your face. You gonna turn the money down? Well, if the reason why you're giving me the money is because of this thing here, I don't want your money. Money don't mean all that much to me anyway.
That's right.
Exodus 24 and verse 1. 24 and 1.
And he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him.
Go ahead.
And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord hath said will we do.
They said, we agree to do everything that the Lord said to do, we gonna do it. But it was Moses was supposed to go get Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders, right?
That's right.
Let's skip down to verse 9. Go ahead.
Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel. And there was under his feet as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in its clearness.
So we see that he got feet, right?
That's right.
He ain't no puff of smoke. But they saw God. But we already read what God they saw. They saw Jesus, who at the time his name was Israel, or Jehovah. But go ahead and read.
And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand.
So we see he got feet and hands.
That's right.
He can speak. He can walk. He can talk. He got hands. He can handle things. This is the true and living God, though. Go ahead.
Also they saw God and did eat and drink. And the Lord said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount and be there, and I will give thee tables of stones and a law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up into the mount of God.
So now what happened when you receive the law? What you supposed to do with it?
Supposed to teach it.
You're supposed to teach it.
That's right.
You're supposed to teach the law, not have no Christmas pageant, not have no sunrise service on Easter breakfast. You don't supposed to do that stuff. You're gonna have a sermon on Christmas Eve and then one on Christmas morning, all that stuff. No, you're supposed to be teaching the law.
That's right.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. And this came from out of the mouth of Jesus, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, the wonderful Counselor, the mighty God. This came from him. What verse?
Verse 14.
Go ahead, brother.
And he said unto the elders, tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matter to do, let him come unto them.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses went up into the mount, and the cloud covered the mount. And the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of the Lord was like devouring fire on the top of the mount.
So this ain't like no tree, is it? Mm-hmm. The Lord came down that mountain and he talked with Moses. Let's go right into the 32nd chapter of Exodus. Exodus 32. Because he had a long conversation with Moses. And he told Moses, look, I don't want these people dealing with no pagan gods, even though they did anyway. But then the Lord killed some of them, right? Yeah. They did it again. 32 and 1.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, up, make us gods.
Hold on now. They said Moses up there too long talking to God. So make us